Are you ready to nerd out with me? Hey everyone, it's DC from the DC Life channel. Thought I'd switch things up a little bit this time around. I have a video here about nostalgia in my golden days of the comic book world. The peak of creativity and the mastery of art that is yet to be matched to this day. During this time, there were projects that were a nerd's dream, and you can sense the joy in the creative team of this project. There was so much passion and love put into this. I'm talking about the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. And I can't wait to nerd out with you, so let's check them out. So here they are, everyone. I have here the deluxe edition of these handbooks. These handbooks were originally published in 1982, and the deluxe edition came out in 1985. They released 12 individual issues with extra 8 issues that were of special categories, like the Book of Weapons or the Book of the Dead. So what you're seeing here are the trade versions of the deluxe editions of these handbooks. All 20 issues were collected in these trade versions, and they go from volumes 1 through 10. Marvel had a very different approach to these handbooks because they were very specific with the statistics of these characters. Not only are we getting aliases, places of origin, group affiliations, height and weight, we were getting exact amount of tons that each character was able to press or lift. Supposedly, writers and creators had complained that these handbooks were limiting their storytelling, but at the same time, as a nerd, it was so cool to be able to compare the strength levels of the Hulk versus the Thing, or how many tons can Rachel Summers' Phoenix lift with her telekinesis versus the endurance level of the force fields of Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. DC had a similar publication called the Who's Who in the DC Universe, and they took the absolute opposite direction, where they state that Superman has superhuman strength. But that's the same thing that they say about Wonder Woman or the Martian Manhunter. So you have no idea who is more powerful. That's left to the storytellers of the comic books. So here is volume 1, and I'm gonna let you take a guess as to who is most popular in this volume. The characters are arranged in alphabetical order, and we have volume 1 showcasing the Abomination to the Circus of Crime. Speaking of the Circus of Crime, what's really cool about projects like these is you get introduced to characters that are sometimes, even though a little on the silly and wonky side of storytelling, but interesting nonetheless to learn about. Something I want to point out really quickly is that the original covers of the individual issues showcases the art of the living legend that is Mr. John Byrne. And what's really cool about the covers is that he has everyone flying or running from the left to the right side of all these covers, and they all connect to form a giant poster that probably looks like something like this.
Wow!
I have no idea if the poster was ever released, but it would be something cool to have in your room growing up. But then mom would probably not allow it, to have something go all around the walls. Anyway. So let's look at Abomination, whom we have met in the second Incredible Hulk MCU movie featuring Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. The major showdown in the third act shows what a threat the Abomination is to the Hulk. Just a quick glance at the strength level of the Abomination, you can see that he is able to lift or press approximately 100 tons. And it is also stated that he is not in the class 100 strength level since he cannot routinely lift 100 tons. So why is that important? Let's take a look at the Hulk's entry. Let's quickly skip to volume 3 featuring the Hulk and move to the Hulk's entry. Let's look at the Hulk's strength levels. It states here that the Hulk's superhuman strength is of the class 100 level, enabling him to lift and press 100 tons. So why is the Hulk able to eventually defeat the Abomination in the Incredible Hulk 2? Because the Hulk is stronger.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
And in the known superhuman powers category, it states here in the middle that in times of stress, the Hulk's adrenaline level escalates, causing a corresponding escalation in strength. Hence, its upper limit remains a mystery.
Hulk is strongest there!
Now I know I've completely jumped to the Hulk and Volume 3 when this is supposed to be about Volume 1, but this is what I mean by what's really cool and nerdy about these handbooks. It absolutely makes sense to me why the Hulk is able to defeat the Abomination in the second MCU movie, because it was established even in the 80s that when the Hulk gets angrier, he becomes stronger.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
What's also already established here is that the Abomination can lift to about 100 tons, whereas the Hulk can consistently lift 100 tons, and if he gets angrier...
That's my secret, Cat. I'm always angry.
He can lift more. And it also explains that the maximum of his strength levels have yet to be discovered. So back to Volume 1, and let's jump to the superstar of this volume, Captain America. So there's this reel or short that I've seen on Insta or YouTube that showcases the helicopter scene in Civil War. And that's the famous Chris Evans bicep scene where he, Captain America, is trying to stop Bucky from escaping on a helicopter by holding on to a pipe, and that's when he's showcasing his powers in the gym, letting his bicep bulge to the max, and supposedly he even hurt himself while filming the scene. So what's really fun for me is to read the comments section where someone points out that Captain America probably only weighs about 240 pounds. How is he able to pull or hold back a helicopter? So I went online and checked out weights of helicopters. According to executiveflyers.com, a helicopter can weigh ranging from 245 pounds to 56 tons. Now, since this is a helicopter at a SHIELD facility where Bucky was imprisoned after Baron Zemo released him, I'm gonna assume that this is a military helicopter. And according to this website, that would be ranging between 10 tons to 60 tons. So let's just put that in the middle at about 30 tons, since this is a little slicker and it doesn't entirely look like a military helicopter. So let's return to the handbook and look at Captain America's strength levels. It states here that Captain America can lift or press a maximum of 800 pounds with supreme effort. Oh wow, my Bostonian accent just came out.
All of a sudden he's seen the car, so he started running down here.
It states here that Captain America can lift or press a maximum of 800 pounds with supreme effort. And if we were watching the scene again, Captain America can't entirely overwhelm the helicopter. In fact, you can see that he's absolutely straining to keep the helicopter from completely flying away. He's able to pull the helicopter down and keep it from zipping away because he can hold or lift up to 800 pounds. That is almost half a ton. So is this still a little bit of a stretch for him to accomplish this feat in the movie? You be the judge. Comment down below and let me know what you think of these statistics and if Captain America is still able to perform this feat. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe, give me a like for nerding out so much till it's embarrassing, and ring the bell icon so that more nerdy content will be coming your way. Do you see what I mean about these handbooks and why this is so much fun? Very quickly, let's move on to the next character I want to showcase. So if we go back to the cover of Volume 1, behind Cap, to his left and right, we have the OG Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and the actual binary character, Carol Danvers, all featured in the MCU movies, though they're all a little adjusted in their storytelling. What's interesting here is that Carol Danvers is not featured as Ms. Marvel. in one of the later volumes of these handbooks. It's a completely different character. So let's jump onto volume 5. This is Ms. Marvel. And she is actually the Thing's girlfriend, Sharon Ventura. She was an ex-wrestler who gained supernatural powers, but she's not actually as powerful as Carol Danvers. So back to Captain Rambeau and Carol Danvers' binary. Carol Danvers at this point is at the height of her power set. Her Kree genes has been triggered by experiments run by aliens called the Brood, which elevates her to cosmic level powers. One thing to point out is that she is at class 100 strength level, which is exactly the same thing as the Hulk. So she can lift or press 100 tons. I believe a lot of the power sets Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and Monica Rambeau's dimensional powers showcased in the Marvels in the MCU are derived from the binary character. This is why I love Carol Danvers, besides the awesome costume that she eventually gets. Not only is she the OG Ms. Marvel, and she was cool even back then, she's essentially Marvel's equivalent to Wonder Woman. She also has a story in her lore where she is so powerful to the point where she can rival the Hulk or Thor. Carol Danvers, in my opinion, has always been Marvel's choice to put to the forefront as their leading female character. And in the comics, she earns her power levels. The DCEU actually had a one-up on the MCU with the 2017 Wonder Woman. And it might actually be the very first female comic book superhero that is critically acclaimed and a major box office success. The MCU had to respond to that, and they decided to shoehorn Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, into importance, and at the end failed to convince the general audience to fall in love with this character. She is just the most powerful character, and that's lazy writing to me. It also didn't help that Brie Larson was leaning so heavily on the social responsibility side of politics during her promotional tour for the first movie. All this further divided the fan base of Carol Danvers, in my opinion. I personally realized that if the MCU really wanted to one-up on what was already a really successful female comic book movie in the 2017 Wonder Woman, was to introduce the first Black-led comic book movie with Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel instead of Carol Danvers.
Higher, further, faster.
Monica Rambeau is actually one of the female characters who is not a derivative of a male character like Carol Danvers is in the Marvel comic book universe. The MCU really missed an opportunity to push a black female character to the forefront if it's all about social responsibility. That could have won up the 2017 Wonder Woman movie. Other honorable mentions, we have a thing about adamantium. Captain America was actually not a founding member of the Avengers. He was their first recruit. Did you actually know that? Nerdy stats about buildings and vehicles, the Celestials. We have the Black Widow, Black Panther, before he was really popular in the MCU, Black Bolt, featured in the Multiverse of Madness.
I'm sorry.
There you have it, everybody. This will be one of the many videos coming out from the DC Life channel where I will get to nerd out with every one of you. Be sure to subscribe, give me a big old thumbs up, and ring the bell icon so that you will be notified of more videos of other handbook volumes coming your way. Do check out DCLife.com for more info on me. This has been so much fun. Now remember, life's too short, live it fully. DC signing out here, and I will see you in the next video.